the world of hidden stories, Dan Brown, the author who shook the literary world, emerges as an architect of discovery. He dares to uncover secrets concealed behind the walls of faith, guiding readers on a journey that pierces the boundaries between truth and illusion. The Da Vinci Code, a novel that astonished the world, delves into the depths of forbidden knowledge, challenging all logic and shaking the seemingly immutable foundations of belief. Could the truth about Jesus Christ be a game of destiny, an untold mystery? This controversial literary phenomenon began in 2000 when Dan Brown introduced the character Robert Langdon in Angels and Demons. Langdon, a professor of symbology at Harvard University, went on to become the protagonist in the Da Vinci Code and several subsequent novels. The series recounts Langdon's adventures as he frequently confronts enigmatic cases, deciphers ancient artifacts, and uncovers shocking secrets. However, the Da Vinci Code is not just a literary sensation, it is also at the center of heated controversies. The story begins with Langdon uncovering hidden codes within Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa. These codes lead him to an explosive secret about the Holy Grail, a central symbol in Christianity. According to Dan Brown, the Holy Grail is not the traditional chalice of the Last Supper, but a representation of a woman, Mary Magdalene. The story even suggests that Jesus Christ was not only married to Mary Magdalene, but also had children. This claim, unsurprisingly, provoked strong reactions from the Vatican. The Holy See did not hesitate to condemn the book as baseless and shameful. Despite facing heavy criticism, the Da Vinci Code was embraced by millions for its captivating narrative. Dan Brown's ability to blend fiction with history, art, and religion created a story that is both mysterious and stimulating to the imagination. Although the content remains controversial, it is undeniable that the book introduced a fresh perspective on religious myths, encouraging readers not only to be entertained, but also to question long-held beliefs. With the Da Vinci Code, Dan Brown not only created a literary phenomenon, but also sparked profound debates about faith, history, and the power of fiction in reshaping our perspectives of the world. Is everything in the book true? Dan Brown captivated readers not just with his compelling stories, but with the way he asserts the truth within his novels. While the Da Vinci Code is a work of fiction, from the very first page, Dan Brown wrote that all descriptions of art, architecture, documents, and secret rituals in this book are accurate. In interviews, he repeatedly emphasized this authenticity. In 2003, speaking to CNN, Dan Brown asserted that 99% of the content in the book is true. All the architecture, art, secret rituals, and history are real. Even the apocryphal Gospels. Only the character Robert Langdon and his actions are fictional. This perspective led many readers to believe that the events in the Da Vinci Code and other books like Angels and Demons are not merely novels. Many believe that Dan Brown is using fiction to expose hidden secrets in the history of Christianity. With over 80 million copies sold, the Da Vinci Code is not only Dan Brown's most successful work, but also ranks among the best-selling books of all time. This has amplified the spread of conspiracy theories, particularly those involving the Vatican, seen as the center of Christianity. One of the most curious secrets revolves around Jesus Christ, the Vatican's secret archive, a library that holds thousands of important church documents. Many believe that the secrets mentioned by Dan Brown in Angels and Demons and the Da Vinci Code originate from here. In Angels and Demons, when Robert Langdon traces the Illuminati, he must visit this archive to find clues. As described by Dan Brown, it is an incredibly modern facility with soundproof, waterproof, and even bulletproof rooms. The documents inside are carefully preserved, accessible only to those with special clearance. The scenes in the film adaptation of the novel depict the archive in great detail, leaving many to wonder whether these descriptions are accurate. In the Da Vinci Code, Dan Brown once again draws attention to the Vatican, this time with a more shocking accusation: that the Church has worked to conceal the truth about Mary Magdalene and Jesus' descendants. According to him, this secret is not only hidden in the paintings of Leonardo da Vinci, but has been carefully concealed for centuries by the Vatican. Dan Brown's stories have led many to ask, do hidden secrets really exist in the Vatican? Does the Vatican's secret archive truly store crucial documents as described in the book? Or Is it all the rich imagination of a talented novelist? Regardless of the answer, it is undeniable that Dan Brown has succeeded in sparking curiosity, drawing millions around the world into the historical mysteries and conspiracy theories he created. The Vatican's secret archive, also known as the Apostolic Archive, is one of the most mysterious places in the world. It is a massive repository that holds centuries of the Catholic Church's history, including documents, correspondence, decrees, and papers issued by the Holy See. In 1612, Pope Paul V decided to separate this archive from the Vatican Library, giving it the mysterious name Secret. This very name has led many to speculate that it contains earth-shattering secrets the Church wishes to keep hidden. In Dan Brown's novels, this archive appears several times, especially in the famous works Angels and Demons and the Da Vinci Code. In the Da Vinci Code, Robert Langdon follows clues and uncovers a shocking secret: that Jesus Christ was married and had children. According to this theory, Jesus' descendants still exist somewhere in history. In Angels and Demons, Langdon and his associates visit the Vatican's secret archive to search for information on the Illuminati, a secret society believed to be opposed to the Church. Dan Brown's detailed descriptions of the archive, its fortified, highly secure, waterproof, and soundproof rooms, have led many to wonder if such evidence really exists. Interestingly, Dan Brown is not the only one to touch on the conspiracy theories related to the Vatican and the secrets of Jesus Christ. In 2012, Karen King, a professor specializing in early Christianity at Harvard University, published a shocking fragment of paper. This fragment, thought to date back to the 4th century, contains a reference suggesting that Mary Magdalene was the wife of Jesus Christ. Karen King's announcement quickly made headlines in The Atlantic, sparking a wave of controversy. If this information is true, it could completely overturn Christian history and even change views on whether priests should maintain celibacy or be allowed to marry. However, the authenticity of the fragment was questioned. Alberto Cheney, an Italian expert on ancient Egyptian history, pointed out that the fragment was not found through archaeological excavation, but appeared in an antiquities market, a place where forgeries are likely. He warned that it should be thoroughly examined before being regarded as historical evidence. Francis Watson, a professor at Durham University, also dismissed the credibility of the fragment. He analyzed that the words on the fragment seemed to be copied from another ancient text written in Egyptian, and were merely a patchwork product. Christian Askeland, a scholar specializing in ancient Egyptian language, also attended the conference, where Karen King presented her findings. He stated that there was no concrete evidence to prove the fragment's authenticity, and that all conclusions were based on assumptions. To this day, the story of Jesus Christ and Mary Magdalene remains an unproven conspiracy theory, but it continues to stimulate public curiosity. The Vatican Secret Archive, with its mysterious aura, remains an endless source of inspiration for those fascinated by exploring unanswered questions. The story of the Vatican Secret Archive continues to attract curiosity and numerous conspiracy theories surrounding it. One intriguing hypothesis suggests that the archive holds a record of a conversation between Emperor Nero of Rome and St. Paul, two powerful historical figures with completely opposing ideologies. Nero, the fifth and final emperor of the Julio-Claudian dynasty, is known for his notorious cruelty, particularly his persecution of Christians following the Great Fire of Rome in 64 AD. St. Paul, one of the founders of Christianity, became a symbol of faith in the early church period. According to this hypothesis, the record could contain revelations that would shake the belief in the existence of Jesus Christ. It is suggested that if this document were to be made public, it could prove that Jesus was merely a fictional character created to meet the spiritual and political needs of the time. However, there is no evidence to confirm the existence of this record, so it remains purely speculative. Nevertheless, historical records referring to Jesus continue to appear in many ancient documents. According to The Guardian, in addition to Christian texts, early Jewish and Roman historians also mention this figure. Early Christian writings, such as the letters of St. Paul, written decades after Jesus' death, are vital sources of information. Furthermore, the Gospels in the New Testament offer detailed accounts of his life and teachings, with accurate descriptions of geography, culture, and the historical context of Palestine in the first century. Simon Gatt, a professor specializing in the New Testament and the history of Christianity at Cambridge University, has provided an intriguing perspective. He argues that it is hard to imagine that Christianity, which originated from a small Jewish community, would create a Jewish messianic figure in the context of the Roman Empire, an empire that frequently clashed with the Jewish people. Gatt believes that Jesus's existence is not merely a religious belief, but also supported by convincing historical evidence. Nevertheless, conspiracy theories surrounding the Vatican's secret archives continue to persist. People often wonder, if this archive really contains documents that could change the history of religion, will the truth ever be revealed? Or is it all just a product of imagination? Perhaps, the mystery of the archives lies not only in what it holds, but also in how it feeds our curiosity about history, religion, and unsolved questions. The Vatican Secret Archives is housed in a grand building with beautiful ancient architecture that can be admired from the outside. Despite undergoing several renovations, the decorations on the walls and ceilings have maintained their original beauty from centuries ago. Inside, the archives are divided into several sections, including reading rooms and special storage rooms. The main storage system is located deep underground in 2 fireproof concrete basements, which are extremely secure. Here, countless valuable documents are preserved on bookshelves stretching nearly 90 kilometers. Enough to overwhelm anyone. These documents not only relate to the history of the Vatican, but also have a significant impact on global historical events. For example, the letter from the Pope to King Henry VIII of England in 1530, expressing concern over the king's desire to divorce Queen Catherine of Aragon to marry Anne Boleyn, an act that led to the schism between England and the Catholic Church in 1534. Additionally, the archives hold the trial records of astronomer Galileo Galilei, who was convicted of heresy by the Church for asserting that the Earth revolves around the Sun. Furthermore, it contains collections from various religious orders, noble families, and documents sent from Vatican embassies around the world. Each document is a crucial piece of history, which makes the archives even more mysterious. Despite numerous rumors, the truth is that this archive is not a treasure trove like in novels or movies. In reality, it is a center for the storage and preservation of the Catholic Church's heritage, recording pivotal moments in human history. However, the restrictions on access have raised many questions. Is the Vatican hiding something too monumental, or has human curiosity simply created non-existent secrets? Perhaps the answer will forever remain deep within the fireproof basements of the Vatican Secret Archives. Following the release of Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code, public curiosity about the Vatican, and especially the secret archives, exploded. Many began to imagine the place as a mysterious vault filled with documents that could change our understanding of history and religion. The name Secret also contributed to its allure, creating the sense that this was a location reserved for those with privileged access. However, in reality, contrary to this fantastical image, the Vatican Secret Archives is one of the most open archives for researchers, and its operations are entirely normal, just like other large archives worldwide. The archives were established in 1612, initially as part of the Vatican Library, but later separated for independent management. It holds an enormous amount of documents, including many of great historical and religious value. To ensure safety, all materials are stored under optimal conditions and embedded with electronic chips to monitor and prevent theft or misplacement. This strict security system not only protects the documents from being lost, but also reflects the importance of what is stored here. Each year, the Vatican Secret Archives hosts about 1,500 scholars from over 60 countries. Those who wish to access its materials must meet certain standards. The minimum requirement for access is a bachelor's degree, with professors requiring higher qualifications, usually a theology degree or a PhD. Applicants must register online, submit a recommendation letter from a reputable research institution or an experienced scholar, along with a personal photo and identification documents. While these requirements may seem complicated, they are necessary to ensure that the valuable documents are only used for research purposes. Once granted access, scholars must adhere to a strict set of rules. They are not allowed to bring bags, backpacks, pens, cameras, or any food and drinks into the reading room. Mobile phones must be turned off, and absolute silence is required. Even their attire must be appropriate for the solemnity of the Vatican. Additionally, before entering the reading room, all personal belongings must be stored in lockers provided by the archive. However, the archives are not always open. In the 20th century, the archives temporarily ceased accepting scholars to focus on preserving materials. It wasn't until 2010, following the controversy stirred by Dan Brown's novels, that the archives reopened as part of the Vatican's efforts to promote transparency. In 2019, Pope Francis decided to officially rename the Vatican's secret archives. Previously, the term secretum in Latin, meaning private or confidential, had been misunderstood when translated into English as secret archive, leading many to believe that the place was hiding dark secrets. This decision was seen as a positive step to dispel misunderstandings that had persisted for centuries. Archbishop Cesare Passini, who had served as head of the archives for over 45 years, shared that the fantastical stories surrounding the archives mainly stemmed from human imagination. In reality, the Vatican Secret Archives is just a storage facility for preserving historical documents, like any other place in the world. In February 2024, he released the book Secretum, revealing many lesser-known aspects of the archives and shedding light on the truths behind famous conspiracy theories. Not only serving scholars, the Vatican has also kept up with the times by digitizing part of its collection and posting it on its official website. This move not only protects the documents from deterioration, but also provides an opportunity for the global public to access these valuable historical materials. This is clear evidence of the Vatican's openness in sharing knowledge with the world community. Yet, the conspiracy theories surrounding the Vatican Secret Archives persist. From tales of Jesus Christ's descendants to secret conversations with historical figures, and even theories about aliens, all of these arise from the rich imagination of humankind. But in reality, for those who have passed through the gates of the archives, it is no different from a living history museum. In the end, the Vatican's Secret Archives is not a forbidden or mysterious place as depicted in sensational novels. It is a treasure of humanity, preserving and protecting invaluable pages of history, while also opening doors to knowledge for those truly seeking to understand. The thrilling stories may create allure, but it is the true historical value that makes this place unique and worthy of respect. And now, goodbye, and see you next time.